spinning. When I'ma start, I'ma finish.
What's going on YouTube? Ow! For Blackie, we back. We back, man, with some Freaky Friday. Remember I told y'all in that update video I might do Freaky Fridays? Well, here we are, man. We doing Freaky Fridays. And today, man, we got a scary story. Scary roommate, I can't talk. Scary roommate horror story animated. Now, I like to watch these type of videos. I got this idea from Corey's Kitchen when he used to do them. But I've always, like, even before that, I've watched like creepypastas and shit like that. I've been a big fan of horror in my adult years. I didn't give a fuck about horror back then. I was scared shitless. But without further ado, man, we're not gonna keep talking. Grab your popcorn, grab your snacky snacks, cause we about to go, and grab your blanket. You might want to get underneath your blanket because it's about to be some freaky shit, man. I can already tell. Look at this nigga in the thumbnail. Like, look at this nigga, though. But anyways, man, let me go and stop rambling. Let's get on with this spooky story. It's 6 minutes and 2 seconds. Let's go.
When I was 21, I transferred to a college in San Francisco.
This shit look creepy.
I checked out a room for rent on Craigslist. It was in a really nice 2-bedroom apartment. It was cheap rent and close.
That room looked
campus,
creepy
so
as hell.
It was the ideal spot. The girl who lived there was 29 and her name was...
Oh, no.
She was tall and wide, and she had jet black hair and wore pale makeup. She seemed nice, although a little quiet, but she seemed to like me and agreed to let me move in. So far, so good. My first night there, we went out for pizza, and that's when I could tell that something was a little bit off with her. Throughout dinner, she kept telling me how much I looked like Shia LaBeouf. I didn't know what to say, so I just shrugged it off with a thanks. I mean, I look nothing.
First of all, can I just go ahead and point out how creepy both these motherfuckers look like? Oh my god, both of these dudes look creepy. Both of these people that's animated look creepy, so I don't know what this man's talking about, how she looking. Bro, let's just get on with the story.
Like Shia LaBeouf, so it just didn't make any sense to me. When we got back home, she asked if I had seen her room yet. I said no, and she took me to see it.
You trying to get him in?
The walls were covered in posters of Shia LaBeouf. She had even printed out photos of him all over her mirror.
Oh, hell no.
She owned all of his movies. I mean, I didn't know what to make of it.
She might just be a big fan.
The whole night she had been saying I look like him, and now it's obvious to me that she's obsessed with the guy.
Yeah.
A few weeks passed, and I never really saw her that much. We didn't spend any time.
How you not see her and y'all live together?
She would come home from work and practically run to her room. She would spend the whole night in there. She had this really creepy, high-pitched giggle, and I would hear her giggling through the walls at night. I wondered what the hell she could
hell no.
doing. Occasionally, she would come out and talk for like 2 minutes, and then she would always be slurring her words, so I suspected she was drinking a lot. Sometimes she wouldn't say anything, and she would just stand in the hallway and watch me in the living room. I would turn and see her and be surprised and say something like, "Hello, Beth." And then there would be this long, awkward pause, and she would just give out her creepy, high-pitched giggle. It was uncomfortable.
And you still there after that?
It gave me the chills. One night, I woke up at around 2 a.m. because I heard what sounded like the front door being unlocked. I came out of my bedroom, and all the lights were off, but I could still see Beth standing at the front door.
I'm getting chills right now.
She had her face against it, and she was turning the lock back and forth over and over again. And every time she turned the bolt, she mumbled my name.
Oh. I'm like, hey, what you doing over there? Hey, stop doing that. I would have said something, bro. Like, bro, you just sitting there standing and watching this happening?
Seeing her standing in the dark and
like, hey, how you need to stop?
Mumbling my name really freaked me out. And it doesn't help that she kind of looks like a bigger version of the girl from The Ring. I just quietly went back to my room and tried to sleep. One night, I was watching Gladiator, and she stumbled out of her room and turned on the living room light.
How do you sleep after that?
Forcing me to pause the movie, which was annoying. She then asked me if I wanted to hear about her ex-boyfriend. It was an uneasy segue into the topic, but I just said sure and then awkwardly sat back to listen to her. 10 minutes into her story, and she was extremely riled up. She was screaming at the top of her lungs about their breakup. I was worried that the neighbors were going to call the cops, and she wasn't listening to me when I was asking her to lower the volume. Amidst all of her screaming, one thing she said really freaked me out. She was in such a fit and she yelled that she'll slit his fucking throat. That was a big game changer.
Oh, that was a game changer?
No idea what this girl was capable of. I mean, she was practically a stranger, and everything I had seen was becoming alarmingly disturbing. After a few more minutes, she told me thanks for listening and started doing her giggle. I got out of there pretty fast and went to my room to go to sleep. I had a pretty unsettling feeling about being in the house with her. And what's worse is that there was no lock on my bedroom door.
No lock on your bed? Oh, nah. Any real nigga would have been up out of there. Ain't no... You got this crazy, creepy girl, and now you finally think it's... Like, now she finally crossed the line by saying she gonna slit her boyfriend's throat? Not when she was moving the lock and stuff like that, or staring at you, not saying nothing. No. Now when she said she gonna slit her boyfriend, okay.
I pushed the edge of my dresser in front of it to act as like a little barricade. I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of my dresser scraping against the floor. Beth was pushing the door open. I turned on my light, shouting at her to stop. I could see her through the open.
Oh, no.
She was so drunk and had this insane look in her eyes.
Oh, bruh.
I pushed the door closed and yelled at her to go to bed. I could hear her
Babe, just go to bed.
her room, but I couldn't fall back asleep. The next morning when I went out into the hallway, my heart dropped. I saw that one of her steak knives was on the floor by my door. I got goosebumps all over my arms. All I could think about was her saying she would slit that guy's throat. I confronted her about it, and she said she didn't remember trying to push my door open. She said she didn't even remember telling me about her ex. I had enough. My lease was month to month, so I found a new spot and moved out. About a month after I moved out, she contacted me. I was at the movies and my phone was off. When I got out, I turned my phone on. And to my shock, I received 40 plus text messages that she sent me over the past 2 hours. They were all just insane texts that range from everything between,
don't show the picture,
you two, I fucking hate you. It was insane. I didn't respond, and I never heard from her again.
Good.
I always wonder.
Oh, no.
Set my dresser in front of my door. Would she have quietly crept into my room and slit my throat? It freaks me out.
Honestly, big dog, you kind of deserve that to happen to you. It took all that for you to finally move out the house. Okay, yeah. If you got your throat slit, it probably would have been for the best, bro. Nah, let me stop. Oh my god, man. Dang, that actually gave me the way this artist draws stuff. Like, bro, oh my god, creepy as freak. All right, so we can go with our second scary story. It's called True Camping Horror Story Animated. So without further ado, that last one, it gave me goosebumps. I'm not even gonna lie, but let's go ahead and get right into it.
My name is Corey, and I've spent a lot, and I mean a lot of time camping, hiking, and hunting.
Not me.
I've seen all kinds of predators, and I've been in some sticky situations. Everything from a tornado heading my way to being tailed by some bears, so I don't exactly frighten easily. This past July, I was out camping near my family's farm in western Iowa, along with my
niggas don't do this, by the way.
Best friend Jason and his new girlfriend, Samantha. Samantha actually had never been camping before, let alone more than a mile off the trail in the middle of a forest. She was understandably nervous, but we were watching out for her. We do have to watch out for prairie rattlers, poison ivy, and even mountain lions in this part of the
mountain. Oh no!
We made camp in a clearing on top of a hill with a few trees, but we were deep in the woods to be sure. We arrived to make camp, eat, drink, and went to bed by midnight. Nobody had any injury besides a few mosquito bites. Everything was going according to plan until suddenly I woke up to the sound of Samantha screaming at the top of her lungs. I just couldn't believe how loud she was screaming.
Just imagine that. Just imagine you out camping with the boys and the girls, and you're sleeping, right? And you're woken up by the person, one of the people that you're camping with, screaming at the top of their lungs. Just imagine the terror that must be going on in this man's, like, in his body.
It was actually insane. I woke up, I guess at the same time as Alexa, grabbed my light and my Glock and ran out.
His Glock.
I told her to stay in our tent just in case. Jason was already trying to comfort Samantha, and she was talking, almost babbling about something huge walking through camp and scratching at the tent and making a terrible sound. I told her it could have been a coyote or even a mountain lion. What little food and trash we did have was outside of the camp area.
They should have got.
Wasn't an issue.
They should have left.
I assured her that I would stay up and light the fire again. That I would take turns with Jason watching the fire because our movement and the fire should scare anything away. This seemed to comfort her, and she actually went to sleep in with.
And got that pistol.
Jason and I both stayed awake, talking quietly, watching the fire, and checking around camp.
Oh no!
And signs. We couldn't see anything obviously wrong or suspicious. It certainly could have been a mountain lion, and this did have me on edge with the girls there. About 30 minutes had passed, and Jason walked just out of the firelight to take a leak.
Idiot.
He was off to my left, my tent across the fire in front of me, and Jason's tent behind me. There, off to my empty right, I saw something and heard a large crunch. Jason heard it also and was practically still pulling up his pants, running towards the fire. "What the hell was that? That is big," he said. I know, it could be a big cat. Better get your 44 out of your bag, too.
Nah, he got a pistol, too?
Light, I told him. He returned with those items, and we waited to illuminate whichever area we
Cowboy
heard more movement from next. Then we heard a crunch and a snap. More movement almost directly behind us. We stood up simultaneously and spun around, turning the brightest light on. For just a second, we saw what almost looked like a gorilla-sized and shaped figure disappear
no.
into the trees.
No.
At this point, I'm trying to keep it together, and Jason is just frozen. I tell him to snap out of it and that we need to get the fire to grow. Once the fire is larger, we both need to take a position, one in front and one in the back of the tent to protect the girls. We heard this awful grumbling sound for the rest of the night. I have never heard anything like it. And large crunching and snapping sounds continued to emanate from the woods behind Jason's tent and really all around us. Periodically, we would see something move either to our left or right in the clearing just outside the trees. I kept the fire going. I actually had the fire pretty enormous by the end of the night. As soon as the sun started coming up, we packed up. On our way out, we saw large prints in the mud down by a small stream at the base of the hill we were camped on top of. I can't really say anything other than the fact that they basically looked like a huge man's prints. The thing we saw was definitely not a man. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was going to hurt us. I don't know if it was Bigfoot. Frankly, I don't want to know. The way I see it, it's really not relevant because I was thinking it was a mountain lion initially. Those are also dangerous. I won't let this stop me from camping. Sometimes I guess you just hear scary things at night in the woods. Because scary things do live in the woods. I guess that's just part of the adventure.
The adventure? Bro, nigga, if I would have been... Libra. Nigga, you just seen what could possibly have been the real life Bigfoot, a big man talking about, oh, it didn't stop me from camping. Oh, it's just a part of the adventure. Nigga, get out of here with your goofy ass. Listen, man, tell me what y'all would have did down in the comments below, man. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. They had me, the way they drew that monster, bro, that had me shook, had me shivering. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Whoo! I'm gonna have to watch something before I go to sleep. But anyways, man, tell me what y'all thought about this series in the comments. Did you like it? Do you want to see me do more of these scary stories? Let me know in the comment. Hit that like button. And I'm gonna go cry in the corner because that was pretty scary. I ain't gonna lie. Which one y'all thought was the best, man? I ain't gonna lie. That first one really had me geek. Like, bro, like a big woman. You living with a big woman, nigga? play no games, man. But yeah, man. Without further ado, man, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I hope y'all didn't get too scared tonight. Links in the description for my social media. Go hit the Twitter, go hit the Discord. Until next, I'm off for Bizzle. Turn it up a little, and I'ma see ya later.